Welcome back to the Deep Dive
It's great to be back.
for episode 4 of our series, Business in the Real World.
Oh, yeah.
Last time we dug into all those different business ownership structures.
Right. All this.
Like sole proprietorships and partnerships.
And LLCs and all that.
But today,
Mm-hmm.
we're tackling something
Yeah.
equally important no matter how your business is set up.
Absolutely.
Aims and objectives.
You got it.
And to really get a feel for this,
Yeah.
let's imagine
Okay.
a brand new cafe.
Oh, I like it.
We'll call it BrewBliss.
Okay. BrewBliss. I like the sound of that.
So they're just starting out.
Mm.
What would you say are some of their initial aims?
Well, I think first and foremost,
Yeah.
they've got to survive.
Right, of course.
They need to bring in enough money
Yeah.
to, keep the lights on.
Keep the coffee brewing.
Keep the coffee brewing. Exactly.
But beyond just staying afloat,
Yeah.
what else might BrewBliss be shooting for?
I think building a loyal customer base is huge.
Yep.
You want people to come back again and again. Maybe even become like a little community hub.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And these days,
yeah,
a lot of businesses want to be ethical, sustainable,
for sure.
right from the start.
Yeah.
So that could be another aim for BrewBliss.
So it's more than just grabbing a cup of coffee.
It's an experience.
Yeah, it's the whole vibe.
It's the vibe.
The values.
On values.
How they fit into the neighborhood.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got these big picture aims.
Yeah.
Survival, loyal customers,
Yep.
ethical practices.
Mm-hmm.
So where do objectives come in?
So objectives are like the concrete steps you take to actually achieve those aims.
Got it.
And we want them to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Smart objectives.
SMART objectives. That's the acronym.
I like it.
So let's say for BrewBliss,
Yeah.
for survival, maybe their objective is a sales target.
Okay.
Like we want to sell 200 cups of coffee a day.
By the end of the second quarter.
Okay, so that's something they can really
Yeah.
track and measure.
Exactly.
What about for building customer loyalty?
Well, they could start a loyalty program and set a goal for
Okay.
how many customers they want to sign up
Right.
in the first 6 months.
Makes sense?
Or maybe they focus on online reviews,
Oh, yeah, like
aiming for a certain star rating.
like on Yelp or something.
Exactly.
So each objective really connects back to one of those bigger aims.
They're all linked.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And for ethical practices,
Right.
let's say BrewBliss
Yeah.
wants to be environmentally friendly.
Uh-huh.
What kind of objective could they set?
Maybe they decide to cut down on single-use plastics
Okay.
by 50% within a year.
Wow, that's ambitious.
Yeah, but they could do it.
Yeah.
Maybe by offering a discount if you bring your own reusable cup.
Yeah. I like that.
It's a win-win.
Definitely.
Less waste and happy customers. So it's all about taking those big aspirations and turning them into action.
Exactly. You got it.
Now, let's say BrewBliss is doing well,
Okay, they're killing it.
hitting their targets,
Yeah.
and they decide to aim even bigger.
Okay, I like it.
They want to expand,
All right, let's expand BrewBliss.
open a second location.
Nice.
What kind of objectives would support that?
All right, so with expansion, you need a whole new set of objectives.
Okay.
First things first,
Yeah.
market research.
Right. Got to figure out
Yeah.
where to go.
Exactly.
Who are the people in that area?
The demographics.
Yeah. All
And then they'll need to think about funding,
of course.
maybe getting a loan by a certain date or attracting investors.
Yeah. So their objectives really grow and change
They have to adapt.
along with their ambitions.
Absolutely.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's a dynamic process.
But what if they wanted
Yeah.
this new location to be even more sustainable?
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
Like a zero-waste cafe.
All right, now we're talking.
What kind of objectives would they need for that?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
They'd have to partner with recycling companies,
Right.
maybe source sustainable ingredients,
Yeah.
get creative with minimizing waste.
So it's like a whole new
Yeah,
roadmap
a whole new ball game.
just because they shifted their aims a little bit
Exactly.
and their objectives have to reflect that.
Objectives are the key.
This whole concept of aims and objectives.
Yeah,
It's not just for businesses, is it?
you're right.
It's like our personal goals too.
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
think about it.
Oh, okay.
You want to write a book, learn a language,
Yep.
get in shape.
Yeah,
Having clear aims and objectives can really help.
for sure. It provides focus.
Yeah, that clarity
A roadmap to success.
to turn those dreams
Yeah,
into reality.
I like that.
It's something we can all learn from,
Wow.
no matter what we're striving for.
Couldn't agree more.
Before we move on,
Okay.
what stands out to you
Yeah.
about the difference between aims and objectives?
What's really cool to me is how aims give us that big picture purpose.
Okay.
The why behind everything we do.
The why.
And then the objectives are like the actionable steps. The how. I need both to really succeed.
Right.
Whether it's business or life.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like having a compass to point you in the right direction, and then a detailed map to guide you along the way.
I like that analogy.
I think we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we've really gotten to it.
From defining aims and objectives to seeing how they work.
In the real world.
Yeah, in practice.
It's been great talking about this with you.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's recap what we've learned.
Sounds good to me.
We started by figuring out the difference between aims, those big aspirations that guide our actions, and objectives, the specific measurable steps to get there.
Those smart objectives.
And we use BrewBliss,
our little cafe.
Yeah, our fictional cafe, to see how aims and objectives work together.
Yeah, in a real business.
And we talked about how those objectives can change.
They're not static.
As a business grows and changes.
Right. Like if BrewBliss expands.
Exactly.
They need new objectives.
And we even touched on how these ideas apply to our personal lives, too.
It's all connected.
This deep dive has really shown how crucial it is to set those aims and objectives.
Yeah, the foundation.
Not just to survive, but to thrive.
To make a difference.
Yeah, to make a real impact.
Absolutely.
Whether it's business or just our own lives.
It's about having a vision.
Yeah.
A plan and making it happen.
I love that.
Yeah, it's empowering. You know, it's funny. We always talk about aims and objectives for businesses. But they're just as important for our own lives, too, right?
Absolutely. Okay.
Like, let's think about it. If you want to write a book or learn a new language or even just get healthier, having those aims and objectives can make a huge difference.
It's all about having that clarity.
Yeah, that roadmap.
To get where you want to go.
Exactly.
So let's say your aim is to learn a new language.
Okay, I like it.
What kind of objective could you set?
Well, you could say...
Yeah.
I want to be able to have a basic conversation in 6 months.
That's a good one.
It's specific. It's measurable. It's achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
A smart objective.
Exactly.
And to make it even easier, you could set smaller objectives along the way.
Absolutely.
Like learning a certain number of new words every week.
Yep. Or maybe finishing an online course.
Yeah, those are great.
Little steps add up.
And it's not just about external achievements.
Right. What about something like...
Yeah, improving your mental well-being.
That's a great example.
It's so important these days.
Yeah. A lot of us are trying to do that.
Yeah, so how could we use aims and objectives for that?
That's a good question.
Well, your aim could be to incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine.
Like how?
Maybe you set an objective to meditate for 10 minutes every morning.
Okay.
Or do some gratitude journaling before bed.
So even for something like well-being, which is so personal, we can still use that SMART framework to make progress.
And remember those objectives.
Yeah.
They're not set in stone.
Right. They can change.
Just like in business, sometimes you got to adapt.
Based on what's working.
And what you learn along the way.
You know, this whole conversation, it's making me think about how businesses measure success.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
It's not always just about the money, is it?
No, not at all.
Especially for a place like BrewBliss.
Right.
They care about being ethical and being part of the community. Absolutely.
So how would they measure success?
They could look at how much waste they're diverting from landfills.
Okay.
Or how many local events they sponsor.
So it's about aligning those metrics with your values.
With your aims.
And that's true for us as individuals, too.
Absolutely.
If your aim is to get fit, you might not just focus on weight loss.
Right. You might look at your energy levels.
Yeah.
Or how your heart health is improving.
So it's all about defining what success means to you.
Exactly.
Whether you're a business or a person.
And then using those aims and objectives to get there.
But let's be real.
Okay.
Sometimes things don't go according to plan.
That's life, right?
How do we stay adaptable?
Yeah.
And motivated when we hit those bumps in the road?
Well, one thing is to look at those detours, not as failures, but as opportunities to learn.
Oh, I like that.
Maybe an objective isn't working.
Okay.
Or maybe a new path is opened up.
So it's about being flexible, but still keeping your eye on the prize.
Exactly.
And don't forget to celebrate those little wins along the way.
Absolutely.
It's easy to get caught up in reaching the end goal.
Right. But those small victories keep us going.
They give us that boost of motivation.
It's like reaching a base camp on your way to the summit.
And speaking of support,
yes,
it's so important to have the right people around us.
Oh, absolutely.
Friends, family mentors.
Even people working towards similar goals.
Yeah, it's like having a cheer squad.
I love that.
Reminding you why you started, pushing you to keep going.
They keep us accountable.
It's that sense of community that can make all the difference.
It's a shared journey.
This has been such a great conversation.
It really has.
We've talked about how aims and objectives aren't just for businesses.
They're for all of us.
We've learned about adaptability, celebrating those wins.
Absolutely.
And building a support system.
It all works together.
Before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a question.
I like it.
Think about your own aims. What really matters to you?
Okay.
Now, what's one specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound objective?
All right, lay it on us.
You can set today to move closer to that aim.
That's a good one.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Share it with a friend.
Hold yourself accountable.
And take that first step.
Yeah.
So we've talked about setting aims, crafting those smart objectives, getting ready to really make things happen.
Yeah.
But let's be honest.
Okay.
The road to success, it's not always smooth sailing, is it?
Definitely not.
There are going to be bumps, detours,
roadblocks,
maybe even moments where you're like, am I even on the right track?
It's so easy to get discouraged.
Totally.
You start out all excited, set your goals,
Yeah.
but then the real challenge is sticking with it when things get tough.
When you hit those roadblocks.
Being willing to adapt,
And finding ways to stay motivated.
Motivation is key.
So it's not just about planning the route.
Right.
It's about navigating the whole journey.
The whole journey.
Storms and all.
Exactly. And that takes more than just willpower.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You need the right strategies.
Okay.
The right mindset.
Yeah.
And a little bit of self-compassion along the way.
That's so important.
It really is.
So let's talk strategies.
All right, I'm ready.
What are some practical tips?
Yeah.
For staying motivated when those roadblocks inevitably pop up?
Well, one of the best things you can do is break down those big objectives.
Okay.
You know, the ones that feel kind of overwhelming
Right.
into smaller, more manageable milestones?
Ooh, I like that.
Like, think about climbing a mountain.
Okay, yeah.
You don't just focus on the summit the whole time.
Right.
You focus on reaching the next base camp.
Yeah, so instead of feeling overwhelmed by the huge goal, you're celebrating those smaller wins.
Exactly.
And keeping the momentum going.
It's all about momentum.
Each milestone reinforces that belief that you can reach the final goal.
It's like building a chain.
Okay.
Link by link.
And speaking of support, how important is it
Oh, it's crucial.
to have the right people around you,
Agreed.
friends, family mentors,
Yeah.
even other people working towards similar goals?
Your tribe.
It's like having a cheer squad on the sidelines,
Oh, I love that analogy.
reminding you why you started, pushing you to keep going
They keep you accountable.
when you want to give up.
Exactly.
And don't forget to celebrate your successes,
Oh, yes. Celebrate every win.
no matter how small.
No matter how small.
Acknowledge your effort.
Yeah.
Reward yourself for the progress you've made.
You deserve it.
Take a moment to appreciate
Yeah.
how far you've come.
It's easy to forget that sometimes.
Yeah, we get so focused on the destiny that we forget to enjoy the journey.
But the journey is where it's at.
Exactly. Savor those moments of accomplishment.
Those little wins along the way.
And sometimes the journey takes unexpected turns.
Oh, for sure.
You might hit a roadblock
Uh-huh.
you didn't see coming,
Happens all the time.
or realize your initial plan needs a little tweaking.
So what do you do then?
Yeah, what happens when you need to change course?
Well, that's when you got to be flexible,
Okay.
adaptable.
Yeah.
Remember those objectives?
Yeah.
They're not set in stone.
Right.
They're meant to guide us, not confine us.
So it's okay
Yeah.
to deviate from the plan.
As long as you're still moving in the right direction.
Towards your overall aim.
Exactly. And sometimes those course corrections can lead you to even better things
Wow.
than you originally imagined.
That's amazing.
It's like those explorers,
Yeah.
sail for one place and end up discovering a whole new continent.
I love that.
Yeah. The key is to be open to the unexpected.
Yeah.
To see challenges as opportunities.
To learn and grow.
And to trust that the journey itself will teach you valuable lessons.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
It really has.
We've explored the power of setting aims and objectives.
Yeah. Not just for businesses.
For all of us.
In our personal lives.
We've talked about staying motivated, celebrating those wins.
Those are important.
And adapting to challenges along the way.
You got to be flexible.
And we've learned that success isn't just about the destination.
Right.
It's about the whole journey.
The ups and downs.
The twists and turns.
The detours.
And creating a life that feels fulfilling and aligned with our values.
It's been great talking about all this with you.
A huge thank you to all our listeners.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
For joining us on this deep dive
into aims and objectives.
Remember, you have the power to shape your own journey.
One step at a time.
One smart objective at a time.
Keep those aims high, those objectives clear, and that motivation burning bright.
This deep dive was powered by Google Notebook LM's audio and AI assistants.
It's been a pleasure.
This has been a PLC strategy production.